Hey everybody, I hope you all are having an amazing day today. My name is Mercer and welcome back to another episode of Character War. And today on Character War, we're taking a look at two warriors who live up to the legacy of their mentors. I'm talking about none other than Makoa Gibraltar, the Dome Shield legend from Apex Legends, versus Bridgette, the legacy to Reinhardt and Turbjorn daughter from Overwatch. So, for this fight, who wins? Well, why don't we see for ourselves? Before the big Apex Legends came into the fold in the Apex games, there was a simple but noble man named Forge. Unfortunately, he was assassinated by Revenant, the robotic killer assassin that's been around for more than 300 years. Yet he left a legacy, his son, Makoa Gibraltar. And Gibraltar has been a formidable adversary and has put himself in the Apex games and around the world for rescuing and deploying missions. He's a hero at heart and has been called the Gentle Giant. Gibraltar has many access to numerous different arsenals, including his arm shield, which he uses to protect and defend when he's shooting. He can even use his more powerful and advanced club, taken straight from his culture and taught him in combat by his son and his boyfriend. Now this weapon is very good up close, but he's very much specializes in long range, and his dome shield defends him against any form of sniper or bomb-like attacks, and he allows him to heal opponents safely. His EVA 8 auto shotgun has 8 shells and does massive amounts of damage, and his more powerful R301 is an AR rifle that gives him extreme power with this blast. This allows it to not only be shot at long range, but is a perfect blend of close and long range at best, and any legend can wield it. But he's also got his trusty Peacemaker rifle, one of the most powerful weapons in the game. This Peacemaker is a charge-up shot, and it is believed to be alien compared to other guns. It can take out heavy opponents. He also has his final ability, his ultimate, an orbital strike, which will call upon numerous different rockets, which will land and then almost completely annihilate opponents. This can allow Gibraltar to kill multiple opponents, but fails when it comes to covering and completely destroying. It can even go through straight stone on some occasions. Gibraltar has numerous feats, including taking on and leading numerous different teams. He's fought all of the legends before, all of them, including Wraith, Bloodhound, and the cybernetic ruler Revenant. That's right, Revenant, the same guy who killed his dad, believe it or not. That is crazy. He's kept up with Octane before, who can run extremely fast. So fast, he can run up walls even. Now, Gibraltar is no pushover when it comes to strength or speed, but his armor does allow him to be slower than other legends. But still, that does not slow him down when it comes to fighting. Bridgette's legacy begins when Overwatch began. There were two main Overwatch legends, Reinhardt and Turbjorn. And Turbjorn, after Overwatch disbanded, had a long family, and one of them being Bridgette. And since she's Swedish, her name is technically Bridgette, but the English version is Bridgette, so I'll refer to her by that. And she did live up to Reinhardt, one of the most powerful legends that we mentioned before, the Shield warrior basically, who defended and protected Germany, and Reinhardt trained her how to be a hero and a warrior herself. So, Bridgette would become a member of the newly disbanded but newly forged Overwatch, and she has tons of training and combat to prove so. Her flail, that's right, it's not a mace, it's a flail, is extremely powerful up close. It even has a chain where it's allowing it to extend, and the damage is remarkable. This flail has tons of power at his side. It can even take apart heavy opponents and is amazing up close. It can extend and even has a stun function which allows it to extend at heavy meters and stun almost multiple opponents. But in terms of defense, she's no pushover either. She has a shield which she can bash with, which allowing her to jump incredible heights in some occasions, and even allows her to block heavy attacks. This bash can also stun people just like her flail. But if she wants to heal people, she does have healing discs, helping them and defending them at the same time. But her main ultimate is her rally. This rally allows her to enhance all attacks for both herself and her opponents, giving her extra health and healing multiple wounds. It can even enhance already great attacks, and basically giving her a Super Saiyan form. She's blocked heavy attacks from powerful Omnics with Reinhardt, and taken on multiple Omnix at once. She's trained with Reinhardt and competed with him too in close quarters combat, and has been and proven to be one of the more faster Overwatch characters with her bash and technique. She's extremely dangerous up close, even coming close to Genji, though she's nowhere near his levels of skill. And by all means did she prove herself as a hero. She may be one of the least favorite Overwatch characters, but by my standards and by most Overwatch standards, she is a legend. So who wins this fight? Well, it is much harder than I anticipated it to be. This fight is very evenly matched. While Gibraltar has the long range advantage of his side, Bridgette has the close range with her flail. Because think about it, Gibraltar's club, while he's extremely skilled and talented with it, with his training, meaning is not very, how do I say this? Damage well like than Bridgette's flail. By no means is it a pushover though. Oh, and Bridgette did have the superior shield. But Gibraltar had the more advantage in destructive capability. Yes, Bridgette was very destructive on her own, and her healing allowed her to allow her to dish out some of the damage. However, the healing only works on other opponents, not exactly herself, and since we do not allow outside sources on Character War, it's very difficult saying that, it'd be cool to let her join. But here's the thing. Not only does Gibraltar have the, fighting advantage, he also has much more experience than Bridgette. Bridgette was drafted in at a young age, sort of mid-teens, but Gibraltar had been training since he was basically looking up to his father. And while you could say that they both looked up to their role models, and Bridgette's armor is technically more advanced, being made by Torbjorn himself, one of the most famous engineers in the Overwatch, cast, if not the most famous. Bridgette's rally did heal from many of Gibraltar's attacks. However, Gibraltar's more long-range attacks did give her the advantage, and he did have the advantage in defense, considering his dome shield could block that. Now, but you're probably wondering, what if Bridgette's bash could affect Gibraltar? Well, they technically could, as they do affect most. But come to think of it, there is an Apex legend we need to focus on. That's right, I'll be focusing on Revenant himself. Revenant has of course had numerous different advantages, but the main one is how fast he is. He's dodged an attack from a semi-automatic R301 and Prowler rifle, both of which can shoot extremely powerful bursts in seconds. And he's breaking through solid metal with 2 kicks. Same with Gibraltar, as a matter of fact. Now, considering that Gibraltar has also done numerous things, including breaking large trees with a single chop of an axe, and while we do have to take into account that the axe's power was put into it, it was 90% of which was Gibraltar's raw strength. So, it's now time to take a look at everything we could possibly look. While Gibraltar did have experience and raw destructive capability on his side, Bridgette had the advantage in up-close combat and speed, especially with, her bash. But it's time to take a look at something deeper. While doing my research for this fight, I found that 99.999% of the time, most hits from the Peacekeeper rifle were going to lay on Bridgette. And they are powerful. This Peacekeeper is powerful enough to dent and even break skin from Pathfinder. And that is no joke. Pathfinder's armor skin is extremely comparable to Bastion's, and Bastion's armor was made by Torbjorn. So there's no reason to say that Gibraltar could not do any form of lasting damage on Bridgette. And while Bridgette's speed was comparable, Gibraltar has seen that before. By no means is this any way a pushover for Bridgette. This is extremely close. A very 50 D149. But most of the time, in the majority, Gibraltar does win. So, in the end, the winner is Makoa Gibraltar. On the next episode of Character War, we've got our Christmas special between the Grinch, Dr. Seuss's Green Abomination versus Jack Skellington, the Nightmare Before Christmas's Pumpkin King. Hope you guys enjoy. Always be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.